Before I start with the main central point of my talk, I want to go through briefly those 4 steps or the stages of self-inquiry which I had given in my last satsang. The first one was acceptance. Acceptance of your present state of beingness. It is very important to accept what you perceive yourself as right at this very moment. That is point number 1. Proceeding ahead of before, you cannot proceed ahead unless and until you accept yourself completely and wholly. That is 1. Second point, acceptance does not mean that you leave it unattended. Acceptance means you watch it thoroughly, investigate it, observe it, look at it intently. That is second point. Third point is what happens when you watch it is that you will see that your beingness, your present state of existence, your beingness has changed form. That is what will happen when you continuously observe and watch over your beingness. So we are doing only one thing in all of this. We are only watching. We are not trying to change anything. Right from acceptance. Second point was observation. And third thing was that it changes. Nowhere have I looked at the I. I have only looked at my present state. That's all. The I has simply followed that. It has completely followed my being. You will see, just as your beingness will change form, your I will reciprocate. It too will change the form. It will become it. And that is what I am going to address today. The topic is seeing is becoming. That is a central point. This is the backbone of self-inquiry, of Advaita itself. Whatever the eye sees, it becomes. And I begin my talk with this. The fourth point I shall take after this. So what do I mean when I say that seeing is becoming? Or what do I mean when I say that I sees and it becomes? What I mean to say is you perceive reality on the basis of what you see. That becomes your reality. You don't need anybody to give you a proof of the reality. You know it. For example, you see this gross matter around you, this gross body, and you say that I am the body. Very simple. Now, the same you, when you go into your dream, watches the dream state. It sees that. It identifies with that dream state, that dream character. And now it has become that. During that sleep, the dream phase, you do not remember this identity. You now identify with a dream character, whoever it is. It could be the same I-ness. It could be the same identity, but the character, the situation, everything has changed. The reality itself has changed. Sometimes you feel you're falling down a hill. Sometimes you feel that you're giving some exam and you have failed. Something. Reality has changed. It has nothing to do with the present situation. So your I has changed in both the things. Now most people today remain identified in both these states. They oscillate between, they move from waking to the dream state, and they realize, okay, this is okay, it's fine. However, a serious seeker, when he first enters self-inquiry or spiritual, he takes a spiritual pursuit, he observes that these two states, he observes these two states very minutely, and he comes to the conclusion that I am not the body because I can watch over it. I am not the thoughts because I stand independent of it. I can watch them. I can watch the arising and falling of my emotions, and I stand aside of it. They don't touch me. They are there. They come, they go. So who is this I? Who is this I is now the question in the mind. It's like a worm which goes into your head. Now you cannot rest because now you want to find. You have now changed from normal individual people, and now you have want to find out who is this I who stands independent of these two states. But the problem is, the moment you open your eyes, you see the gross world around you. And the moment you close your eyes, you see dreams. After that, you do not remember anything, what has happened. That is what happens to maximum people. And that is a problem with seekers also. They don't know what to do. So then, what has to be done? Now I have to inquire. But trouble is, what do I do? So now he wants to find out if he closes his eyes and tries to find that I by being aware, by observing a state which is beyond the dream, can he find that I? Can he find the I by going beyond it? That is his question. So we will just take some little task together for just some time. I want all of you here to close your eyes for some time. Wherever position you are. If you're lying down, please lie down. If you're sitting in a couch, please be relaxed. If you're sitting in a chair, relax. Just close your eyes for a few times, for some seconds. I want to give you some insight of what I am trying to drive. Please close your eyes and relax yourself completely. Do you see a black void in front of you, ahead of you? First thing, rule number one, accept it. Completely accept it. Now, Step number 2, watch it. Look inside of it. Gaze into it. Look intently into it. Focus. Okay? Open your eyes. Everybody. What did you all see? Come on, Joanne. I want an answer from somebody.
Nothing.
Anybody else saw anything? Did anybody see anything? Everybody, probably few people may have. Yes, somebody is there. Wants to say something?
Joseph.
Who's this? Joseph, my friend.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, Rosie.
Hello. Yes.
Yes. I see nothing.
Very good. You see nothing. Joanne saw nothing. Most see nothing. And what was my third step? What was my third step? You've forgotten, everybody?
Seeing is becoming.
Seeing is becoming. So you see nothing. So you become nothing. Right? But have you all become nothing here? No. It is not so easy that you become nothing. I just wanted to give you an insight into what my topic was. It is not that you become nothing. And the reason is the mind will not allow you to become nothing. This was only for few seconds. You intently gazed into that void, that nothingness, and you came to the conclusion, I see nothing. But I am telling you, if you are a serious meditator, you meditate, you concentrate for more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, you will have different observations. You will watch a lot of things happening. You will not see nothing. And mostly, you will watch the movement of your mind itself. You will watch thoughts. You will watch various emotions. You will watch various happenings, phenomena, but you will lose track of that nothingness. You get me? The goal is that void, but the mind does not allow you. And the reason is the existence of mind depends on that. The moment you become nothing means the mind has died. And that is why the mind will struggle for its existence. So what are we to do? We have to continue. We have to go on. We cannot let the mind, the thoughts, the emotions dictate to us. We have to watch over that. Keeping our focus only on one goal, and that is to become that nothingness. To watch that nothingness. To look at it. Over a long period of time, when you will continue to look at that void for a long time, you will come to an understanding that the thoughts have come and they have gone. you will not be any more distracted to those thoughts. You will not run behind that. Initially you will, and for a long time you will. Believe me, for a long time people are still identified with the thoughts. But that continuous watching, that's what you have to do. You have to continuously watch at that void. Bring that void near you. Look at it. Many distractions will come, various forms. Just when your mind will drop and it will feel that it is losing its existence, it will give you an extraordinary experience. That is the nature of the mind. And you will follow that experience. And you will want that experience. But you do not know that is a trick of the mind. The mind is tricking you. You have to remain only centered near the void. You do not have to go. Follow the experiences. Various experiences will come. Sometimes some sound will come. Sometimes some light will manifest out of the blue. Sometimes you will see a tunnel and you are going inside the tunnel. Sometimes you will see some revolving lights, blue, purple, various things. They are distractions, but desirable distractions. Again, I have to tell you this. You cannot prevent that from happening. It shows that the mind is getting scared. So that is why he's showing you these experiences. He's trying to distract you. So don't fall for that. But be happy. Okay, you got this experience. It means, the attitude should be, it means that progress is being made. But I shall remain focused on what I have to do. I shall not deviate from my path. And I shall continue to look. Continue to look. So, one day what will happen is that all thoughts, all emotions, all experiences will no longer take your attention. You will be centered in the void. And all thoughts, all experiences may or may not happen. You are not paying any attention to them. They are happening on the surface. While in your case, there is a perfect relationship going on with your void. There is a continuity of consciousness which is flowing towards you and the void. Nothing is distracting that. Nothing comes in the way. Everything may still happen. But you don't feel anything. The flow of consciousness is perfectly directed at the void. And at that time, meditation will take place. The mind will drop. In fact, you will not have even this awareness that you are meditating on the void. And at that moment, that I-ness has gone. That is what was going to happen. So important question comes here. How do I look? This needs to be addressed also. How am I supposed to look at the void? If I am going to look from my mind, then the mind is going to show only itself. It is going to give me a glimpse of a false void. That is how tricky the mind is. You will create your own void and tell me, Rajiv ji, I got a glimpse of the void. I was into void, but that was only the mind. That is how it becomes. So I am going to give you a technique. I am going to share you one. In fact, this technique was brought to me in the notice by my Guruji, Sri Edji, and it is very much mentioned in the autobiography about what he mentioned about it. And I have just made it into a step. I'm just trying to provide it so that people can understand what looking means, the real looking. As you close your eyes to meditate, you will see the void, no doubt. What you have to do is, you have to bring the void to your heart, downwards, and bring it here. And now you are feeling the void, you bring it closer to yourself and feel it there. And look from there, from your heart. This is a very effective technique. When you are looking from here at the third eye, from the third eye, there is still the void. I am not disputing that. I did it in my Kriya Yoga for many years. But it gives rise to many kinds of phenomena and Kundalini experiences, many other such lights and noises and voice, which are all noise, all mind work. And you can get lost in this. Rather, bring it here onto the heart, near your heart. Feel the void here. Accept it here. Enter the void here. And sink into it. The more you sink, the more mind is going to die. The more meditation will happen. The better the looking will be. Because here in the heart, it is not the mind which is looking. So you sink. Try and go downwards. As far as possible, try to go downwards. Even below the heart if possible. Go downwards. And just go. Rest there. Don't look anything. Just sink. And then you may find that you are going into a bottomless pit. You are sinking deep into some kind of scary stuff there. It's very scary. But that again is a final weapon of the mind. He wants you to bring him back. And that is what most advanced meditators make a mistake. Just when they're sinking into a state, they bring the mind back. They want to become awake. And I am telling you to awaken. They are two different things. You do not have to be awake. You have to awaken. In an awake state, the mind is active. While in an awakened state, the mind has disappeared. So, my dear friends, this is what you should follow. The technique is given how to look. And this will introduce you. It is a form of guided meditation. You can try it. And one fine day, once you become very deep into this thinking, as the thinking starts to happen, you will come to know that the I who started this journey of searching has disappeared. Now there is someone else who is doing the search. That I will come to later in a satsang. For the time being, we must stick to this. Now my fourth point comes into question, and which is, no matter what you become, even when you become the void, it is all false. It is still an illusion. This is the fourth point. But it means that the third point has to be done first, and then the fourth has to be there. You have to know about nothingness. So both points you have to understand. For the time being, you have to come to know what all you become beyond the gross state, beyond the dream, and beyond dream state and sleep. This talk today has introduced you, has tried to give you a structure of where you should head in your meditation. This is not the final realization, mind you. Right? So I shall complete my talk. Thank you so much. Any questions are most welcome. Yes, Dennis.
When looking in the emptiness, in the nothingness, isn't it sometimes boring that there's nothing? It seems to be boring in the mind.
Yes.
Go away.
Yes.
Looking for a special experience.
Who's saying so that it is boring?
I do.
Who's that I?
Dennis.
Isn't it your own mind? Yeah, Dennis. Who's your body mind? So I told you, all these things are going to come your way. This is boring, this is attractive, this is good, this is bad. All this thing is nothing but the mind. You continue your journey regardless of what your mind tells you. That is meditation. If you are going to listen to your mind, then it is not meditation. Meditation means you are sticking to one thought and you're not looking at other thought at all. Only one thought gains prominence. And what is that one thought? What is that one thought? The blankness, the void, the nothingness. I have only one goal. I have to look at it intently by sinking into it. That's all. Nothing more. You may go 1,000 times, you might get diverted, you might go again to what the mind says, but you will come back here only. What the mind tells you is a false center. Don't go where it tells you. It has to tell you that it is boring, my friend. It has to tell you.
Yes.
It has to survive. So it will give you stories.
Sure. When I close my eyes,
Yeah.
and when I look, I see this blankness.
Yes.
But it's also on this level here. It's
yes.
a visual sense.
Yes.
When I lower my attention to my heart area, on my belly, still this looking. There are two things: looking and being here.
Yeah. So being. What I am trying to say about looking is to give about those people. See, in my last satsang, good question, Dennis. I have to clarify something here. The thing is, in my last satsang, I had told one meditation, you can say guided meditation, which said that love is your beingness, if you remember, right? But and when love is generated from your heart only, it is not generated here. If you look at it, I love here, it's like it's more predominant in your heart area. Love manifests from your heart. So you feel beingness from your heart. So if you feel beingness from your heart, you can go with love, with a feeling of love, and sink there. But why I gave today this whole about the void is that I wanted most people can see nothing in front of them. Most, even you can see that. So I'm trying to give them an object. It is only for the purpose of meditation. Those who feel that love into your beingness is the object, they can go for that. Otherwise, those who are more tactile in their vision, means they like to see things, observe things more. For them, this is more predominant. So I've given them both the options. So there is no escape, you see. No escape. So you can do either of these things. You can do either of these things. Main thing is to sink. Main thing is to bring the void which you see into your heart. If it is love, you are already there in your heart. If it is watching, then you bring it slowly downwards. Very simple. But whatever it is, whatever you will see, you will become. Final.
Hi, Rajiv Ji.
Hi, John.
I have a question. About 2 years ago, I awoke into pure consciousness. I recognized the I am. And for about a year, I attempted to abide in that I am. Very diligently, constantly and consciously. And there was quite a bit of dissolution, when I was... I had a lot of desire to realize myself, but I was forced to integrate back into the world, due to financial concerns and stuff like that. And the last few months, I've really started to forget who I am. I've started to lose myself. I haven't made a permanent shift into that, and I was wondering if you could offer some advice and support for me.
Well, you carry on the way you are doing. Just you have to know that inquiry can happen in your daily life also. You don't have to divorce anything. It can keep happening. You can keep being observant of the way you are and meditate. Formal meditation is very important. So you can meditate, bring daily meditation for some time, and you see the changes within you. You see what happens is, whatever goes and comes, or whatever comes and goes, cannot be real, right? When we talk about pure consciousness, it is a state of samadhi, the pure beingness. Samadhis come and go too, but pure consciousness, samadhi, is very different. The definition of pure I amness by Nisargadatta Maharaj is the highest form of samadhi. It never leaves you. It is sahaj, natural state. So, whatever you got, that glimpse, came and gone. So now, whatever you are at this moment, accept that and begin your inquiry. For sure, you must have got insight into some very beautiful thing. You will get that again. See that, watch it. If there's any difficulty, we are there. No problem. You can always mail or get in touch. No issues.
Thank you.
Okay, Rajiv. So Zen is past, and I'm just practicing basically on my own until I met you and Edgy.
Yeah.
So my question is nowadays during my meditation, and I've talked to you about this, is that I have this blankness. I can meditate 17, 18 hours a day. That's what we would do in Sesshin. You know, but usually I do it about for 2 hours. And, you know, within a couple of minutes, it goes from kind of a dreaming to what seems like a complete blank, deep sleep state. But
very good.
It's known. Now, but I keep having these doubts come up because one of the things that I was always taught in Zen was that you keep your eyes open, and I practice shikantaza, so you do not go to sleep. You do not go to sleep. That was pounded into me. If you are sleeping, you wake up. But you know what's always been happening now, this is what I'm thinking, is that my waking up was always returning to mind.
Of course.
So now I just sit in this blankness, and I do run a timer over a 2 to 4 hour period. I run a timer so that every 25 minutes I get this gong from a bell on my computer, and it just kind of gives me these intervals, you know. But I find that there's awareness, even like just immediately in a blankness as the gong appears, and then it goes away. But my mind keeps messing with me, trying to say, no, you're just sleeping here. You're sleeping and you're waking up because you hear the sound. But at the same time, I don't believe that's necessarily true.
That's not necessarily true. That is the mind's way of doing some defense. It doesn't want to die.
That's really my question. It just keeps interfering.
Don't worry. You are in the absolutely correct direction. Now you got the direction. The mind will not give without a fight. You have to be patient. The more you will expect, the impatience can add to your problem, because it is still the mind. So you just relax in that position. You are very close to that state, what we are talking about, and of the void. You will know that, how it is. I think you have some experience also of that. But the thing is that mind has come off, returned back in some way. So don't worry, you be there. It is not going to take much time for you, from what I see, for sure.
Thank you.
Hi, Rajiv.
Hello.
When I do my meditation, focusing on beingness, I tend to focus on the right side of my chest. It seems to feel like when I refer to my beingness, it seems to refer to me here on the right side. Is that all right, or should it be on the left side?
Beyond the mind, there is no left, right.
Okay.
But to start off, you are in the right position, correct position. Be there.
Okay. So it's in the right side then.
Yes.
Leave it there.
But think. I want you to think. Forget distinction between right, left, center, ahead, up, down. Think. Just go downward.
When you say think, it's just mean to sort of let yourself go into that feeling?
Just go downwards into the feeling. Like if you're lying down, then how you go, if you lie down on the bed, so you are going downwards from there, down, from your heart, you're going downwards. Just go, your intuition will tell you that you are in the right path. You will get intuitive feelings. Awareness is always correct. Rajiv may not be, but awareness is.
Okay.
So your awareness will tell you exactly. As far as your question goes, answer is you are in the actually correct right position. Correct.
Can I have a part B to my question?
You can have a, sorry?
It's like two questions in one, I guess.
Yeah, sure, why not? Buy one, get one free. It's
buy one, get one free, a BOGO, right. You speak of the mind as if it's a separate entity that basically wants to survive and it does whatever it can to survive.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Okay, so
appearance-wise.
Appearance-wise, I see.
It wants to survive. It is there is no mind.
Right.
That is true. There is no mind. But that you will know once you have gone beyond mind.
I see.
But for those who are still in the body mind, that is still a truth, a reality for them. Once you transcend that, the mind is not there. When the mind is not there, Tim is not there.
Yes.
And not only Tim is not there, I amness is not there. Nothing exists. Right. That is truth. But for that, we have to go step by step. If I tell you nothing exists, it is not going to help. Because your conviction is not strong enough. Some of these teachers today, they tell we are already that, nothing exists, I don't exist. And we have to believe that. But that belief must have an attainment to it. There should be some kind of conviction. Only then I will be convinced that yes, it is true. So why don't you see for yourself? Why believe somebody? Yeah?
Yes.
For example, if you are put in a room and in that room there is a big dark lizard and there is little light in there and you can see those lizard's eyes looking at you, right? And there is a new age teacher next to you who tells you, don't worry, it is only made of rubber. Sleep. No problem. I'm telling you it's only made of rubber. Will you be able to sleep? You are not convinced that it is rubber. You feel it is real. So what you have to do? You have to go and touch it and see for yourself whether it is rubber or not. Once you see it is rubber, doubt is finished. So why don't we see for yourself whether the mind is there or not there? Whether you exist or you don't exist. See for yourself. And I can tell you, if you see for yourself, doubts will be over.
Thank you very much, Rajiv.
Thank you. Yes.
So my question regarding looking at the void, it seems to me if I bring my attention at what is looking, that's more void than the void in front of me. Does that make any sense?
Can you come again? Can you come again?
If I look at who's looking at the void, that seems more of a void than the void in front of me.
Perfect.
Do you understand? Does that make sense?
No, yes, no problem. Do that. Look at the looker of the void. That's what you're trying to say. You're trying to be the looker of the void. You're trying to be that. Do that. It's as good as that. Ultimately, that's what we have to do. But you have to find who the looker is. At this moment, your looker is your body-mind only.
Right.
Because you come back as body-mind. So, you have to go deep, find who the looker is. Keep going where you are. Fine, you're doing well. Correct practice, no problem. As I said, we can have different techniques. These are all techniques I have shared today. There is no one technique for everybody.
Sure.
But I'm giving a direction. That's all. Because many people ask which direction I have to go. What do I see? What is I amness? What is beingness? So I'm just trying to give them a little structure. My attempt is to give one slight insight into it. Kind of a goal, kind of an object. And the object of today's this thing was a void.
So, Rajiv.
Yes, Tina.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very much. I can hear you. I can see you both.
I have a very stupid question, but maybe there's somebody else that has the same question.
Yes.
So when you close your eyes and you see the darkness, that is not the void. Is that correct? Is the void a lot deeper than that?
Yes.
Yes.
See, when you see the void, immediately, if you look at it intently, very, very, you gaze at it with complete attention, then it is the void.
Okay, so
it is the void. But because the eye has gone, you see the thoughts have gone. When you look at the void, very, very carefully, there is no you. There is only looking.
So that's how you know that you were in the void?
Yeah, but as I said earlier also, it cannot go on for long because the mind comes and interferes. So the looking is interrupted by the mind, by the thoughts. But if we persist long enough, we can hold the attention on that void for a longer period of time. And at that time, the mind drops. It allows you to see for a long time.
Thank you.
And that is also the death of I-ness, basically, which we call as a first awakening, the death of I-ness. So what I have told you today is about the first awakening, which Ajit talks about. That was also my first awakening.
Thank you.
Tell me, Joanne.
And I don't know if others have this, but when I sit in meditation now, or I just sit and listen to something like that, or even when I'm listening to you or Edgy, and I get sort of lost in it, I start rocking. And it's just something that I have no control over. And there's also sometimes a cycling as well. And I can pull the cycling from the head anywhere down that I want to. But what does one do with that? Just let it happen?
Yeah, of course, we have no choice on that. what I'm trying to say, this energies that work around you, you just feel too much of energy coming, and sometimes there are some bodily movements which correspond to it, and so you just allow them to happen, but you don't get identified with that. That's all. When we say it happens and it just happens and gives me joy, it gives me happiness, it just gives me peace, and I'm okay with it. So that okay with it is not very okay. You know what I mean? You just let it pass. If it happens, let it happen. You will see to it that it will disappear, provided you just let go of it and you bring your mind back to where you focus, which is being at your beingness. This is independent of your beingness. You have to think in that way. Just like thought, these movements are all hindrances actually, because they don't let you settle down. Some people have a lot of kundalini experiences which happen. These are all the same things which happen. So we just let them happen and we just remain focused. When it will happen, when you're going to do it, that depends on your practice and your attitude. So you don't try to stop anything. I used to have the same thing when I was to do kriya. My head used to go something like this. It used to go on rotating. And I realized that maybe there is something wrong with my body or something. I have to stop. You can't stop. You don't stop. You just let it go the way it is. Only thing I'm telling you is you will remain focused on that. You will come to know that in spite of whatever is happening, in case even if it is going, you will go into a state of samadhi. So don't worry about it. Just remain focused, but don't identify with that.
No, I thought it was just mind, and I sort of ignore it. I just
ignore it. That's the right thing. Ignore it. It is not something. This thing, just ignore it. Yes.
And I am finding that it's getting less and less. It was more.
So
more
as I said,
yeah.
You will not, even if it continues or it becomes less or it disappears, let it be. It is a movement of the body. It will work out on its own, and you as long as you are going to remain focused on that single thought, as I said, that single object, nothing matters. Things are going to come, things are going to go. Things are going to get intensified, they're going to become less. So what can you do about it? You can't do nothing about it. You can do only one thing, and that is to go to your heart source and remain there and sink there. That is simple. Nothing more needs to be done.
Thank you.